Hello, everyone, and welcome to another great webinar from CPA Academy. My name is Beryl. I'll be your moderator for today's webinar, Make the Fourth Quarter of 2023 Your Best Quarter Ever. I've got our presenter, Salim Omar, here. I'm going to turn things over to him in just a minute. But before we get started, I want to go through some technical checks and housekeeping items, make sure everything is working for you in the audience. First of all, if you don't mind going to the questions tab on your webinar side panel, letting me know you can hear my voice and see the title slide. Feel free to let me know what city you're listening in from. I do always love to hear where everyone is tuning in from today. Now, if anyone has any technical trouble during the webinar, please do let me know in that questions panel. Keep in mind, there are quite a few of you here and only one of me. I'll do my best to get around to each of you as quickly as I can. This is also where you're welcome to put in any questions or comments you have today for our presenter. All right, I'm checking in on that questions panel. I can see you all chiming in from all over already. Hello to Atlanta, Georgia, Colorado, New Jersey, Kentucky, Canada, Pennsylvania. All right, fabulous. Now that I know everything is working, let's go through some housekeeping. This webinar qualifies for 1 CPE credit. The way you earn that credit today is fairly straightforward. Just stay logged in for 50 minutes of our 1-hour session and answer the poll questions. We'll have a total number of 4 polls during the webinar, and to earn full credit, you'll need to answer at least 3 of them. Now, if you're on a mobile device, you might need to click your answer a few times and then scroll down to find your submit button. And if you'd have to log out and log back into the session for any reason at all, our system will keep track of your total time. I wanted to let you know we are recording today's webinar, and the archive, along with your credit, will be made available in your CPA Academy account. We'll do our best to have that recording and credit available to you in approximately 24 hours following today's session. I also do want to recommend that you go download today's presentation materials, which you'll find in the Control Panel's Handouts tab. All right, that is all from me. I'm going to go ahead and step aside and welcome our presenter, Salim. The attendees are ready, and the floor is all yours.
Awesome. Good job there, Beryl. Thank you. Hello, everyone. How's it going? Let me hide my webcam so it doesn't take up my screen. How's everyone doing? We've got a few hundred folks here attending. The topic is Make the Fourth Quarter Your Best Quarter Ever. And love to start off and get some interaction from you in terms of what are you most excited to get out of today's training? What are the 1 or 2 things that you'd love to hear, and get a different perspective, perhaps, or teachings that you'd like to walk away with? What is that? So use the questions pane to share that. I'm going to be looking at that every so often because I want this to be very relevant to you, where you are in your journey. So please use the questions pane to share, to write, to share your thoughts, your comments, your questions, and that'll be great. Make this more useful and valuable to you. All right. So here's what we're going to cover. The fourth quarter is one of the best times to sign up high-value clients, quality clients. How to do that? 3 best tips on how to stay focused and avoid distraction. As we get into a new tax season, a few months away, I want to prepare you how to have the best fourth quarter and then how to have the best tax season, how to build a team that's fully engaged and productive, and then 7 peak performance tips that will help you to maximize your firm's income and reduce the number of hours that you work. All right, how to get the most obvious, no distractions. We are one hour together. Avoid distractions, phone, social media as best as you can. Number 2, my style is it's going to be fast-paced. I've got a good bit of stuff to cover with you, so I'm going to go fast. But I want this to be interactive, okay? So even though it's going to be fast, I want you to take a moment, pause, and put your questions in the questions pane, and this is above the polling questions. It's going to be 4 polling questions, and this could be a turning point. For some folks, this could be a training, a webinar where the path forward can be different from how it's been for you. So I want you to kind of keep an open mind to learning new ideas, different ways of doing things. A little bit about me. My name is Salim Omar. I'm a CPA. I own a practice based in New Jersey. A few months back in May, we went virtual though. For many years, when I started my practice in '96, so I've been at it for a while, I struggled with LVC stands for low value clients, right? I struggled with low value clients. Lots of clients, but they were low value. And so I was running around everywhere and getting nowhere. And I realized that I wasn't doing it the right way and it shouldn't be this difficult. So I became a student of business. I created a lifestyle practice. And the name of my practice is right there, Straight Talk CPA. So you can go and check it out. And now we've changed things many years back. It's a lifestyle practice filled with high value clients. So HVC stands for high value clients. I'm going to share with you how to do that. When I started my practice, it was total overwhelming. I was overworked, underpaid, dissatisfied, and tax seasons were really worse with lots of things to do. And now I own a 14-person firm that allows me to live the lifestyle that I want. Most of last year was spent with my wife, traveling the world. We traveled almost like 20 countries in the world and just created lots of amazing memories. And it was fantastic. The picture there that you guys see with the camels, that was the most beautiful sunset on the Sahara Desert that I've ever seen. It was in Morocco. We're on the Sahara Desert, spent the night in a camp, in a tent, in a tent. And right before going to our tents, we took a camel ride to it and we witnessed one of the most spectacular sunsets ever. And been working with CPA practice owners, accounting firm owners for the last 14 years. Lots of practitioners just like you that I've been part of their journey, and I'm grateful for that. And I want to share with you. I think it's one or two case studies that I've got two case studies, but we'll probably go through one. And I want to kind of share with you the transformation that is possible in any accounting firm. And the before and the after. So on the left side of the screen, the left half, you see the before. And this is Jim. He's a CPA in the Midwest. He's got 220 personal tax returns, and you can see the fees at 400. He's got 82 business returns. He's got other work, total revenues 419 and change, and his net income is 128,000. And Jim is working hard. He's been at it for 10 plus years, close to 15 actually. And he doesn't have enough money to hire a manager. He's working 50 to 80-hour weeks, sometimes even more. And it's really a grind, and it's leading to lots of stress and burnout because you're trying to manage so many relationships, 220 personal returns and 82 businesses. There's a lot of stuff that's flying in with text notices and questions and so forth. The after, what you see on the right-hand side, is after 14 months. Now, personal tax returns went from 220 to 200, so we reduced them, but the fee went up to $450. Small increase in the total revenues there on the personal tax side to 90. Businesses went from 82 to 75. Fees went up. Revenues, the total revenues there is 390,000. Everyone can see that, right? So there was an increase in that line item. And then Jim signed up 12 high value clients, so about one a month. And these are high value clients. These are quality clients paying about approximately $12,500. And that's new revenues of $150,000. And then other billings, 25. Jim goes from about 420,000 in revenues in the before. He goes to 655. His net income doubles, more than doubles through that process. Now, the good thing, folks, is that Jim has the money to hire a manager, and he's now working 40 to 50-hour weeks. He's doing enjoyable work. He's meeting with the clients. He's working on his practice, and he's got a work-life balance. And now Jim is, beginning to enjoy his practice. Like, okay, this is why I started my practice. is to have this instead of being a slave to the practice. So this type of transformation, folks, is possible for anyone, whatever the numbers are, whatever your numbers are. I mean, your revenues can be north or south of the 419. That was Jim's starting point. If they were higher, I've got a case study here from Susan. Her revenues were 755,500. And after 18 months, she went to over 7 figures and her net income more than doubled, right? So regardless of where you are, right, this is the transformation that takes place. And I've got a worksheet that right here, practice transformation worksheet, yeah, where you put down where you are now in terms of personal tax returns, how many, what's the average fee, and so forth, right? This is kind of your current situation, where you're at now, and where you would like to be then a year from now, right? And having that in front of you is one of the first steps to getting that vision and that clarity. Okay, I'm at 200K. In 1 year, I want to be at 350, or I want to be at 400K, or I'm at 500K now. In a year, I want to be at 700 or 650 or whatever it is, 800, right? Okay, so you kind of have that right there. You've got your vision down on paper. So it's a practice transformation worksheet. Towards the end, I'll let you know how you can get a copy of it, but it's pretty straightforward, as you can see here, that you kind of want to lay it out on the left where you're at, and then what's the after that you want. And I'm going to share with you some strategies and some ideas that's going to help you. Many times, making the transformation is going to require letting go of some clients. And this is a quote by Steve Maraboli that I felt really speaks to accountants. Letting go means to come to the realization that some people are a part of your history, but not a part of your destiny. So what this means for us is we must let go of unprofitable clients in order to make space for future success and growth, right? There are people, there are clients that are holding you down, and they are getting in the way of the clients that you need to be in front of, that you want to be in front of, that you're going to make the biggest difference for, and those clients are going to make the biggest difference for you and your family and your practice, right? So we got to identify who those are and let go of them, because they're not part of your future. They were part of your destiny, but not part of your future. Who here has clients that you can think right now? You can think of at least 3 clients right now that you say, these clients should not be on my client roster. Who has that? Just kind of raise your hand or put something in the questions pane. Remember, I said we're going to use the questions pane. This is the opportunity to share that. Who can think of 3 clients? Like, yeah, this one, that one, that one. Who's got 3 clients where you say, yeah, I shouldn't be working with these people? I'm reading
There's sometimes a little bit of a delay with the webinar, Salim, so it might take the audience just a few more seconds to get those answers in.
Good. Yeah, and I'll peek at them as well. I'll continue moving on, and great to hear all the comments coming in. Appreciate you guys. Yeah, lots. I see that, right? And that's everyone has them. Everyone has them, and it's really being truthful of who it is, and then realizing that that's going to get in your way, right? To make that transformation. Oh, wow. Polling question number 1's right here.
Great. Let's go ahead and get that on screen. The question is, the fourth quarter and the first quarter are the best times to attract new clients. Answer choices are true or false, and we'll leave this poll open for about 60 seconds for you to get your answers voted in. All right, we're about halfway through this poll. Looks like you all are voting in quickly. Thank you so much. We'll review these results in just a minute. All right, we'll be getting ready to close down this first of 4 polls in 3, 2, and 1. And it is looking like 73% of the audience is saying true, 27% saying false. Back to you.
Awesome, great, good. And yeah, I was going through the questions pane as well. 73% say true. And so the fourth quarter, which is where we are headed to now, just a couple of weeks away from the fourth quarter. And then obviously the first quarter of the year when people want to make a change, right? Fourth quarter is when businesses are looking to change. They're looking at the next year, planning ahead, and tax planning, an important reason for people who have paid, who don't know if they've overpaid taxes or not, but they didn't get any help there. These are like all the reasons that make the fourth quarter and the first quarter really, really prime time to grow your firm, make it more profitable. And then before you get into tax season, you want to be all set up. You want to be all ready for that. All right. Very good. 3/4 of the room got that correct. The fourth quarter, the best time to sign up new clients. And the reason, I think I mentioned it, businesses are looking to make changes, improvements, and online is the most powerful opportunity to find those clients. And the question is, are you being found online, right? When people are searching your name, are you being found? 36% of people are unhappy with their current buyer and are actively looking to make changes right away. Another 50% of people are not terribly happy and will consider to make a change. So there's a good number of people that are working with an accounting firm, a tax firm, and they're not exceptionally, happy at what service they're getting and the help they're getting. So there's a good number of people that are looking to make the change. And if they go online and search for something along the lines of looking for a good accountant or wanting help, are they going to find you, right? So are you being found online when somebody searches either for a CPA firm in your area, or for that matter, they even search your name, right? So strengthening your online presence to reach these folks will give you the best return on investment. I mean, for my own practice, Straight Talk CPAs, that's one of our strong avenues of bringing in traffic and quality leads, quality meetings, and quality clients, right? So how much or how well are you showing up now? So I want you guys to Google your name right now, just out of curiosity. Google your name, go to Google and type in, my name is Salim Omar CPS. I kind of went through that exercise and did that, right? And everything that I have done, comes up, right? What are you seeing when you Google your name? Yeah, when you Google your name, use the questions pane to share. And there's no right or wrong answer, it's just the truth, right? So I'm curious to know, when you Google your name, what are you seeing? Are you seeing the best stuff about you, the best initial conversations that you want to have, you want people to have? For me, like LinkedIn is, my LinkedIn profile. I want people to go there because they can kind of see my resume, right? They can see my resume about kind of my career and endorsements from folks and so forth. So I want them to do that. So I've got LinkedIn as one of the first things that will come. And then various trainings, videos, articles that I've done for both businesses, Straight Talk CPAs as well as CPA Marketing Genius, right? So curious to know, I'll look at the questions pane in a few minutes, but share what you're seeing when you Google your name in Google. All right, let's move on. Wow, another polling question already. Okay.
All right, let's go ahead and do this second poll. Poll number 2 is launched and live on screen. Are you the best kept secret in town? go ahead and answer this polling question. This is 2 of 4. As long as you answer 3 of 4 polls and are logged in today for 50 minutes, you'll earn full CPE credit. Looking like those answers to the poll are coming in fast. We'll be getting ready to close this one down soon. All right, let's get ready to take a look at these results in 3, 2, and 1. Looks like we're split 65% saying true, 35% saying false. Back to you.
So the majority of the room, well, 2/3 of the room saying that you are the best kept secret. And we don't want you to be the best kept secret, right? Because people are not going to find you when they're searching for a great accountant, right? So you want to be found. And I was just looking at the questions pane, Ian saying, my LinkedIn profile is the highest. That's good stuff, Ian. Good job. That your LinkedIn profile is coming as the highest is coming when you type in your name in. Danielle saying your business from Google. My website, LinkedIn, Intuit Pro Advisor, State BOA. That's great that you're coming up quite a bit there. When you type in your name. That's awesome. So what are some of the things that you can do to get your website coming up higher up? And really, folks, the important thing is page 1. When somebody types in best accountant, best CPA, or tax reduction help, or CPA services for my business, right? You want your listing, your name, your business, your firm name to come up high up there on page 1. If it comes on page 2 and page 3 and page 10 or 20, people are not going to go there. So while you may be making some effort to get your stuff online, but you're showing up so behind that people are not going to find you. Most folks are just going to go to page 1 when they are searching for something, right? And those top 3 listings are the most important ones, not the sponsored ones, but under the sponsored ones are the ones that are coming from organic. So I want to kind of talk to you a few strategies, the most important stuff when it comes to online marketing, website content, and online marketing. So your website is the first place when someone's going to go, even if they're from a referral. Yeah, it's your most important marketing asset in today's world, in today's times, rather. Your website is the most important marketing asset. So it must convey trust and authority. It's your storefront. People come in, you want them to get them to know you, and you want them to feel that they've come to the right place, right? In the various different things that need to be done in that website where they feel that they've come to the right place. Yeah, one of the things that you want to be doing is putting good content on the website. Using information is one of the most impactful ways to build authority, right? Putting out good quality information. 52% of the world's population accesses the internet via smartphones. So folks are looking at their phones. Think about yourself. If you're looking for something, either information or a service provider, a vendor, you're going to go to your phone and go to Google and type in, or go to Maps and say, something near me, right? CPA firm near me, and so forth. So ranking higher up is important, and content is one of the things that can help you with the right keywords. Yeah, presenting information with reliable data and sources lets your audience know that what you're presenting is trustworthy. Because for the prospect, for the business owner or the taxpayer, they don't know who's the right person for them. And they're making these decisions based on what they read, what they see. And so you want that all to come from a place of where they feel that, wow, this is a trustworthy company. And you are. I'm not saying you're not, right? You are trustworthy and you're incredible at what you do. But to convey that to the prospect, you want to make sure you want to do these things so it makes it easier for them to then make the decision and say, yeah, I've come to the right place. Lots of good content, useful content, valuable content that that helps them there. And so part of the website is having a blog section and creating articles on various different things, text deadlines, text reduction strategies, cash flow strategies, financial statements, all the financial accounting tech stuff that we know. We want to put it in the form of articles, right? Content. And when somebody's searching for something, what tax strategies should I be thinking about as we get close to the year end, you've got an article, they find you, they read that article and say, wow, yeah, Jane's written a good article here. There's some good information here. Let me see who Jane, what she does, where's her firm located? And they get on your website and they get to know you more, right? So your blogs section in your website has all these articles that people are lending on. And then when you've got content, you can then repurpose it in different ways into nurture emails, social media posts, and so forth. So it's one piece of content that can then be used and distributed and placed in many different places so that people stumble across it. People find you. So you're not the best kept secret, right? Your stuff is out there. Just through the process of your stuff being out there, Google loves that. They rank your website higher because there's more value. There's a lot of value that you're providing, and Google ranks their algorithms is based on who gives more value. And they rank those sites. One of the important things, the way they rank a website higher on the search engines is who's got the best content, right? Who's got the best content and who's putting out that content, distributing that content and helping folks, right? All right. Online marketing, so you've got search engine optimization, SEO, and that's where they're helping you bring traffic. You've got Google My Business, which is very local based. It's for businesses and taxpayers all around you. So you want to make sure that's optimized so people are finding you. You're one of the top people in that area, in that town. You've got social media, you've got LinkedIn, you've got Facebook. My preference is LinkedIn, love that, right? Posting articles on that, making sure the profile is good. Email marketing is great to nurture relationships with your existing clients. It's great to get in front of prospects. So email nurture once a week and email going out. And then reputation management, meaning Google reviews, testimonials. I was talking to a prospect actually last Thursday or Friday, and one of the questions I'm always curious to ask is, how did you find me? And I know they've come through Google and so forth, but I'm looking for just any insight, right, that the person will share, because it tells us what's working, what's really working, and what's not, what may not be working as effectively. He says, man, you've got so many Google reviews, and I just couldn't help but that's the firm I wanted to meet and talk to. And so Google reviews, having testimonials, video testimonials, written testimonials, all plays a very big part in helping people, in establishing authority and credibility with the audience. All right, I want to now shift gears and talk about 3 tips to stay focused. These tips have really helped me a lot. But before I go there, we just finished the section. We talked about making a transformation from where you are to where you want to go. And part of that is attracting the right type of clients, bringing in high value clients. Because for me personally, in my firm, When I started it, it was filled with low value clients. There was no shortage of clients. The only problem was it was the wrong clients. It was low value clients, lots of them, a couple hundred, right? And while it felt good initially that I'm signing in these clients, very quickly it became oh my goodness, what am I doing? Why am I, this is like a big trap here. And so having that epiphany, realizing that it's not about low value clients, it's about having the right, it's not about the number of clients, it's about the right clients. And so, changing the strategy to moving to high value clients. And in order to do that, I have to attract those clients, right? Yeah, just because we say, yeah, I want a high value clients. Of course, yeah, it can be a dream. It can be just a dream. It's good to have that dream, but then to really make it happen, to get the results, we have to create and position our firm and the website so that when people come to it, they feel in their heart and in their mind, logically, they say, wow, this is the right place. This is where I want to be. I was having a conversation last week with another prospect, and they're a $23 million home healthcare business. And last week was my first, I kind of, break my sales conversations into two meetings. The first is more introductory, just want to kind of get to know them and see if they're the right fit to do the second meeting and so forth. And so Google, these people, they Googled, one of my website was one of the, top ones. They came in, they spent time on it and read everything there and like, okay, this is, then they scheduled a meeting, right? So to attract those types of clients, it doesn't have to be 23 million. It can be a $1 billion business. It can be a $500,000 business because these are all high value clients. They're going to pay you a good bit of fees in 1 year. Lifetime value is quite handsome. It's a good client, right? And so having that website is important, and then driving traffic, the right type of people to that website. So that's kind of what we've covered. I'm going to now move to 3 tips to stay focused. Folks, if you have any questions that you want to share, please don't hesitate to use the questions pane. That's right there for you. So do that and share any insights as well. What's been your takeaway so far? What's the one thing that's resonated with you that you've said, yeah, this was good. This is something I need to be mindful of. This is something I should do. What is that? What's that been for you, right? So while I go into talking about 3 tips on how to stay productive, I want you to take just a few seconds and share that while I take a sip of water. All right, let's move on. 3 tips to stay focused. And so Nolan was, he founded Chuck E. Cheese. He was Steve Jobs' first boss. He's done some big stuff. Nolan Bushnell. Atari, I think Atari software, he created the Atari software. For those of you who are in my age group, you'll know that. So he spoke at one of my conferences. This was like 5, 6, 7 years back. I can't remember where it was, one of my annual super conferences for CPAs. And he said this: the critical ingredient is getting off your butt and doing something. It's as simple as that. A lot of people have ideas, but there are few who decide to do something about it. Not tomorrow, not next week, but today. The true entrepreneur is a doer, not a dreamer. So become a doer, folks. You're getting ideas from this training. And I know you're getting continuing education credits as well. And that's great. You get 1 continuing education credits if you stay on this and answer the polling questions and all that. But I want you to kind of get ideas, and then I want you to make money from that ideas. I want you to make an impact based on those ideas. And in order to do that, you have to be a doer, not a dreamer, not to say, yeah, I need to have this amazing website that's going to attract clients. It's like, okay, what's the next step I can do to moving towards getting this website and so forth, whatever it is that I'm sharing, right? So First is, in terms of 3 tips to stay focused, first is become a doer, not a dreamer, a doer. Dreamers are good, it's the start, but then the next thing after that is let's do something about it. And that's my next thing here is taking fast action. So the rule of 72 is not a financial formula. It happens to be something that I created out of necessity, and it is taking action within 72 hours. Because I've been through this journey where when I started my practice in 96, and I was attending webinars and reading books and going to events and all that, and I was getting all these ideas, and I saw my practice was not changing. It's like realization, these are ideas until I take action. And so I've got to take fast action. And the thing with ideas is they disappear. Every hour that passes, they fade away. Yeah, they start fading away. These great idea we have. After 1 hour, it's not as great. And then after 3 hours, it's forgotten. The next day, it's like, what are you talking about? Right? That's what happens with ideas. So in order to capture this idea, we gotta give it energy. And the way we give it energy is by starting to move towards implementing it, taking action towards implementing it, right? And that's like the first small step we take, right? Is take one small bite and take towards implementing that idea. And then another and another. And it's all these baby steps that result in this idea coming to fruition, right? And that's when we get results. And my change, my transformation in my own accounting firm has been realizing this, folks. Early on, I realized that there's no big breakthroughs. Like I'm not going to get this huge $1 million idea in a 1 hour webinar where I do this one thing and that's everything is changed. There's nothing like that. And I'm telling you, I'm being very transparent. I'm upfront with you. I'm not giving anyone false hopes, right? However, if you take all these ideas and start taking baby steps and start making improvements, small improvements here, there, everywhere in your firm, then you'll start seeing that massive change, this big breakthrough happen, right? And it starts with fast action. The rule of 72 is small ideas where you're taking, not small ideas, these are good ideas where you're taking a small step towards its implementation. So that's step 2. That was the second tip, and here we have a polling question.
Great. Let's go ahead and take a break and launch that third poll. The rule of 72 hours is to take fast action. Is that true or false? And we'll leave this poll open for about 60 seconds. Looks like the audience is voting in. Thanks so much. We'll have one fourth and final poll before the conclusion of today's webinar.
Those of you who've already answered the polling question, please use the questions pane. That's your platform, folks. Designed for you, created for you by GoToWebinar so that you can share your insights so far. What's resonated with you so far? Use it for your benefit, please.
All right, we're going to go ahead and close down this poll. 73% of the audience saying true, 27% saying false. Back to you.
Okay, awesome, good. So the rule of 72 is to take fast action. The answer is true, is to take action within 72 hours. Sometimes it's going to be within the hour. Sometimes it's going to be within the same day. Yeah, and so forth. All right, looking at the questions pane, let me take a minute to address them. Greg saying, how do you define a high value client? HVC is a high value client. How do you define it? It's perhaps it's really, you want to define your clients from a demographic and psychographic standpoint. So demographic standpoint is quantifiable stuff. From a revenue standpoint, maybe you want to work with businesses that are over a certain revenue size. Maybe it's over 300,000 or 300 to 500,000 in revenues, or 300 to 5 million in revenues, or 300,000 to 1 million in revenues. So you start defining, you define your high value clients from a demographic standpoint of industry, location, geographically where they're at, and so forth, all the demographic type of stuff. Or it can be from a psychographic stuff in terms of who are these people, what are they like, are they growth minded, are they positive, are they optimistic, are they capitalist, are they, do they want to grow their business? So kind of create your ideal client avatar and know who that is that you want to work with. Megan saying, I love that you offered gentle bumps to the cost of a tax return instead of the 10x increase I'm seeing in some programs. Yeah, that may not be necessary, right? People, we don't want to shock them. If there's, the people, and sometimes we do, if they're a client you don't want, you don't enjoy working with, then even 10x is not worth having them, right? They're just a pain. They're, we don't want them. We just don't, they're infectious. We don't want them there, right? So, having an increase from going from 300 to 330 or 350 in fees is good, and that works. Yeah, good comment there, Megan. Danielle saying, I started turning away tax clients for audit work as it is what I like to do more and I'm better at. Takes me less time and therefore more profitable. That's so smart, Danielle. You are going to be in so much demand because other firms, they want to push out their audit work. They don't want to do their audit work. So this could be a great opportunity to even become a referral source for small accounting firms that over the years have started not doing audit work because it is not right for everyone. Crystal saying, oh my God, you literally just read my mind. Was sitting there thinking that I have all of these great ideas, but I don't ever act on them. Solar plexus issues. Laugh out loud. Yeah, 100%. Thanks for sharing that, Crystal. All right, let's move on. So number 3 things in terms of staying focused, right? Number 1 was being a doer, not a dreamer. And then second, what was my second one? Is taking fast action within 72 hours. And then the third one is having goals, right? And we don't have to go too crazy with goals. We can have an idea with a BHAG, stands for big, hairy, audacious goal. Like 3 years from now, 5 years from now, where do you want to be, right? So having that clarity, long term, where do you want to be long term? And then we re-engineer and come closer. Strategic objective is 1 year. Strategic objective actually is a 3 year. So BHAG, big, hairy, audacious goal is 5 years. Strategic objective is 3 years. And then 1 year goal, and then trimester. I like to plan out goals in a CPF, in an accounting firm, by trimester, because quarters doesn't work with tax season. Our first quarter ending on March 31st would not work well with the April 15th deadline. So I like to do trimester. So it goes from January 1st to April 30, and then May 1st for the next 4 months. So it's 3 trimesters in the year, right? So that's kind of how I help folks. I do this in my own firm, planning out the goals in the organization. All right, let's now switch gears and talk about building a team that gets results. So this is Tony Robbins, very well-known inspirational, motivation, transformational presenters who's been around. And he said, identify your problems, but give your power and energy to solutions. And I really feel this is important, is we want to know what our problems in. But if we think too much about the problem, we empower the problem and we don't give the solution, we don't give, enough power and, energy to solutions. And that's where we need to go. We just want to know what the problem is, but then most of our effort and energy and focus has to go on finding the solution. And when we do this for our own firm, and when we do this with our clients, this is where we become very valuable to them. because most likely if you're sitting, you're meeting in front, you're meeting with the business owner, one of your clients, and they're like all wound up with the problem that they're facing, and we acknowledge that, we empathize with them or what it's taking out of them with this problem, but we cannot sit in that for all that much, because we want to then divert and change and move our energy to finding that solution. And I think I've really used this technique in helping my clients and even just my own firm in the transformation. So when it comes to when it comes to building a team that's engaged, that's productive, you want to communicate the vision. And you've got to communicate the vision, and that's the goals, right? You've got to share your where you want this business to be a year from now. You've got to do that so that the people there know that it's more than just coming to work and clocking in and getting their paycheck. And I hope there is more to your business than that. So even if you have an assistant, you've got one assistant, or you've got 2 people, 3 people, 5 people, you've got to start having these conversations of where do you want the business to be. And it starts with you thinking of that for yourself first and having the clarity, and then sharing it with them. So communicate the vision. That's the role of you, for you, the CEO, right? Second is create a culture of finding solutions, right? If you're not attracting enough clients now, or your practice is filled with low value clients, or you're not charging the right fees, or you don't have any systems, processes in place. So it becomes like, okay, these are problems. We identify the problems, and now we'll talk about, we want to go into how do we solve this? What do we need to solve this? If we're not bringing in enough high value clients, what do we need to solve that? If we've got clients that have low fees, what do we need to do to solve that, and so forth? So create a culture of finding solutions. And the ideal scenario is where the whole team is thinking like that. So you become, all the people are on the same page. Third thing is more caution. It's more of words of caution that I want to share with you. Is don't communicate how to solve the problem, right? You don't have to be the one that solves the problem. You can be there to help them and to be their sounding board. We're talking about a team member. You don't have to tell them how they do it. This is for them to solve it, and you're there to help them and mentor them and so forth, right? So as leaders, we can fall into the trap of one of our team members having a problem, and they come to it, and then we solve it for them, and we take that ownership away from them when we do that. All right. Peak performance tips. I want to share with you 3 things, and then we'll finish off in about, I guess, 10 minutes or so. How's everyone doing? Hanging in there? You got your polling questions all good and covered? Any questions, things I can help you with? Feel free, folks. Reminder, use the questions pane to ask your questions, to share your ahas, your thoughts. That is made for you. All right, peak performance. Does anyone know what the 30-60-10 rule is? I'm going to share with you what that is. And then I'm going to share with you 7 strategies on how to live the 30-60-10 rule, and then how to delegate to elevate. Everyone ready for that? Let's do it. All right, so the 30-60-10 rule is how you allocate your time. It's how you spend your time. So if you look at a full work week, a 40-hour work week, how are you spending your time? And you want to be thinking about these 3 categories, right? High billable work is one. Second is team and systems development. It's developing the team nurture, and systems, developing systems, putting systems in place so the business becomes more and more like a well-oiled machine. And then the third category is sales and marketing, and that's along the lines of growth, growing the top line, right? Growing the revenues of the business. So if we see these as the 3 most important categories of work, types of work that you as the owner need to be doing, how much time are you spending on each of these categories? So when it comes to high billable work, and this is work, this is doing the stuff that you need to be doing. If it's reviewing tax returns or it's reviewing financial statements, it's meeting with your clients and having CFO calls with them or tax planning strategies. This is high billable work. That's 30% of your time. In a 40-hour week, that's 12 hours a week. This is very important, folks. I hope everyone's paying attention to this. So think of your 40-hour week and you want to be doing 12 hours only for that, doing it on high billable work. 10% of your time you want to be meeting with your team and developing systems. So 10% of your time, if it's a 40-hour week, that's 4 hours. Weekly meeting, and then work, meeting with, making sure that, your team, your processes are being documented, you're looking at workflow and so forth. And then 60% of your time is sales and marketing, and that's client acquisition, client nurture, and maximizing total client value. So you're doing things that are going to directly impact your top line, right? You can call it sales and marketing. I know accountants don't like the word sales and marketing and that, but it's client acquisition. It's bringing in new clients. It's doing things like the website and traffic and creating content and meeting with your marketing team and meeting with prospects, referrals, networking, all the client acquisition activities you're doing, and then client nurture. You're talking to clients on a regular basis, and you're maximizing total client value. So if a client's paying you fees of $4,000 a year, yeah, you are maximizing the total client value by meeting with them more, looking at your services, your deliverables to them, and saying, all right, what does this client need? Let me meet with this client. What do they need? And maybe they don't need a $4,000 service package. Maybe they are growing or they want to grow and they need more of your firm. And maybe it's a $7,500 services package, right? So you're maximizing total client value by doing that activity. So it's valuable stuff. It's a valuable activity for you to do. So that's what the 30-60-10 rule is. Yeah, 30% of your time doing high billable work, 10% teams and systems development, and then 60% of your time is sales and marketing. Now, questions for you. In which category are you spending most of your time? Where are you spending most of your time? And how can you decrease your category 1 activities and how can you make more activities going to category 2? So I'm going to go to this previous slide. Yeah, if you're spending most of your time doing billable work, it's going to be at the expense of what? Category 2, which is team and systems development, and it's going to be at the expense of growth, right? So do more of one, live in that category most of the week, and it's going to be at the expense of category 2. Team is not all on the same page, they're not engaged, and no processes, no consistency, no predictability, no systems in place. A practice that is overly dependent on you. You leave, practice breaks down, right? So, not enough time and attention going to category 2, and then there's little or no growth. And sometimes I've seen practices that are reducing in value because they're not paying attention to that. They're paying attention to, they're just doing the first one, which is the technical work, right? So where are you? Which category do you live in? And then how can you move? How can you decrease time from one, move to the second and third category? So I want to give you some ideas here. I think we're going to cover 7 strategies, and then we'll talk about delegating work. I may have one more polling question, and we'll finish off. All right. So 7 strategies. Working from home, I think that's become more now. More and more, it's happening more and more, right? A number of years back, it was people had offices. Now it's working from home. Second strategy, delegate. I'll talk about that. Number 3 is blocking out time for client meetings before having certain days and times when you're meeting with clients one after another makes it more efficient and productive. Number 4 is you start and end times in your to-do list. So if you're working on technical work, have an established set start time and end time. And if you can't finish it in that period of time, uh, reschedule that, finish it off another time because you've got another project that you want to work on. So start and end times. Number 5, reduce unplanned activities. Number 6, say no. And then number 7, use the junk mail bin, which has become lesser, but still is, right? We still get mail. And you don't want to spend your quality time in the morning or in the midday looking through mail. 3 types of, we've got a polling question, folks, coming up. 3 types of work. $10 per hour work, $100 per hour work, and then there's the $250 and $500 type of work, right? So you want to make sure that you're not doing the $10 per hour work, right? And you see what that is. It's doing the administrative stuff, person at your level. If you're, at the ownership, the CEO level, you should be doing either the second bullet, $100 per hour work. Not even preparing, you want to be reviewing the work, right? And you want to be doing the $250 and $500 per hour work, which is working on a system that delivers outstanding client and team experiences. That's where you want to be. And in order to go there, you have to identify what is the work you're doing that can be delegated. That is the $10 per hour work. And if you can identify what that is and create a job description, roles and responsibilities that can be even part-time through the use of a VA, a virtual assistant, or an admin assistant. It can be a 10-hour, 15-hour position to start with. You start moving things out of your plate. It's going to cost you money in the short term, and you replace it with bringing in high-value clients. So you allocate your time and energy to what is going to be important for you, that's going to make a difference for your practice, which is bringing in high-value clients. It is more client nurture and having these conversations with clients and identifying where they're at, where they want to go, and how you can help them get there. So it's designing a service package where you're meeting with them more often and so forth. All right, we have a polling question.
All right, I've launched our 4th and final poll. The question is, you must avoid the $10 an hour tasks. True or false? And we'll leave this polling question open for about 60 seconds, and then I'll turn it back over to Salim with our last 2 or so minutes to close things out. Thank you so much for voting in on this last poll. I'm going to go ahead and close this one down in just a few seconds. 3, 2, and 1, and 78% of the audience saying true. Back to you.
And true it is. It's the work you wanna delegate. Folks, we are coming to an end. We've got just like a minute or so. Here's the link. If you'd like to have a chat with me, if there's any way I can serve you, I can help you, because I've been through this journey in my own firm. I still live it. I still own my firm. And if you wanted to have a one-on-one chat, there's no charge. There's no trying to sell you into something you don't need. It's just having one practice owner to another conversation. So you don't have to do this alone. I am easy, and I'll just ask you questions. We'll just have a very friendly chat. People that do this with me get a lot of value, because I'm going to just share with you kind of some things you can be doing, should be doing, and so forth. So use this link. Beryl, if you don't mind, you can put this in the questions pane. That will be great. So it's easy for folks to kind of schedule it. I just open up a few meetings, so happy to do that. And I want to answer a question that Tammy asked. I don't have a team, it's just me. How do I split the 30-60-10? What a great question. So the way to do this is you've got to really use your calendar. Your calendar is your best friend, and you've got to use it in the right way. And you've got to block time out for when you are going to work in the practice and when you're going to work on the practice. Working in the practice is doing the high level work. So you want to block that on the calendar, and then you want to block off times when you're going to be working on the other two categories, building clients and nurturing and creating systems. And with that, we are on the hour, Beryl.
Great. I did put that link in the chat in case anyone wants to connect with you following the webinar. Thank you so much, Salim. Lots of great comments coming in from our audience. Someone saying, you are so awesome. We appreciate you being
Thank
here
you,
with us.
Crystal. Appreciate it.
Yeah, we appreciate you being here with us today. And with that, we have come to the conclusion of today's webinar. We here at CPA Academy will process your credit later today. That, along with a copy of this webinar and your handouts, will be available in your CPA Academy accounts in approximately 24 hours. If you look in your email inbox, you will find the evaluation link for this webinar. We do always appreciate hearing your feedback on our sessions. Please do check the schedule on our website for additional information, and we hope to see you on a future webinar. Have a great day, everyone. Thanks, Salim.
Bye-bye. Thank you, Beryl.